And grass tops is vital to anything. You know, all grassroots can really do is create an environment where the grass tops can actually actualize legalization and affect legalization. And I just, you know, want to say that many of us actually understand that. First, I want to talk about normal. My parents often stated that they thought that there would never be anything normal about me. And I really want to thank this organization for the opportunity to prove them wrong. This is as normal as it gets, I think. Being a young man of 47 years of age, I remember back when normal was, in my mind, a mystical crusader, a bigger-than-life organization that I would have been happy just to sweep the floors or empty the trash for as a young man. In fact, I'll be around when the panel's over if you need some help tidying up and stuff. Now, over 30 years later, I've had the opportunity to experience normal as a flesh-and-bones institution comprised of politically, economically, and culturally diverse cross-section of everyday supporters, activists, academics, professionals, policy wonks, even maybe a couple stoners that have gotten in undetected under the radar. And it's this very diverse makeup of the movement that I want to touch on for a moment today. I read not long ago that another leading pro-reform organization, which has been very successful, had decided early on during their formation that there would not be any ponytails and scraggly beards in their organization. This may be a smart strategy for their specific goals and purposes. It's not for me to say. There's no single strategy or protocol for success, but rather a woven fabric of ideas and approaches, a mosaic that forms a picture of reform. But I believe that our strength and our future lies in our diversity, our tolerance of each other, and ultimately in our sense of community. I say that because I believe that everybody has a role and plays a part in enacting massive social change, and a key to success is knowing what the appropriate role for oneself is, considering one's resources, experience, expertise, and even what one's personal experience offers. For example, with my dreadlocks, my increasingly Dr. Andrew Wallish looking beard, my piercings, and my not visible tattoos, I am not the guy to be appearing on the 6 o'clock news, and I know it. Most viewers will automatically associate my personal appearance with the images that the media uses to portray someone who has an appearance such as mine. And you know, in fact, I represent what many consider to be the Achilles heel of the marijuana movement, legitimately. And I'm talking about the relentless, unceasing association with the 1960s counterculture that is used to marginalize, relegate, and discredit the great individual and collective works towards reform that we all participate in. Now, I made a conscious decision a while ago not to cut my hair and shave for the movement. I feel that in my own way I do my own part, and that media presentations are better left to someone else, such as the 95% of the population who look more mainstream. Some will consider my decision as irresponsible and self-indulgent, as there's no doubt that my appearance is a liability in certain circles. Some will never be able to get past my appearance to consider the potential wisdom, value, and merit of my opinions. But what I've learned is that this cord is in my way of doing that. What I've learned is that what may be a liability in one circle can, I really struck a chord here. Let me start over again. What I've learned is that, I should probably just wing it, is what I learned, is what may be a liability in one circle can be an asset if used strategically in a different social setting, providing that which the kids now call street cred. The reason that I'm even focusing on my own appearance is to make the point that we cannot afford to deliberately or even accidentally alienate anyone who could be a potential supporter of our movement. That's one of the reasons I'm so proud to be a normal member. And I'd like Alan and Keith to know that I just paid my national membership a few days ago before I came here. I thought that would be a good idea. Because normal is not only inclusive and embraces diversity, but because normal is very accessible to the average citizen. We need to build community because community gives us staying power. Community gives us access into neighborhoods and living rooms during the 23 hours a day that the evening news is not on television. Grassroots activism to me means community-based activism. Whether it is precinct by precinct politicking, door-to-door fundraising and educational outreach, or producing events to raise money and educate, it is the awareness of the political and economic power that can be harnessed by the grassroots community-based activism that I believe provides any movement longevity, fresh bodies with fresh ideas, and even more importantly, the street cred an organization needs to affect changes from a bottom-up rather than a top-down fashion. I feel that both of these approaches to reform are necessary to someday meet in the middle and achieve victory. Our fearless leaders in Congress appear that they have pressing priorities other than marijuana decrim or outright legalization. Did I say the L word here? In the same way that a dishwasher is vital to the operation and function of a restaurant, I feel that grassroots activists are just as essential to a political or social justice movement as the suit and tie policy wonk and institution. What the grassroots activists may lack in experience or training is often compensated by a lack of cynicism and the presence of a naive optimism. How many times have you heard the seasoned activist tell a newbie, "That won't work, we tried that"? If you told somebody back in 1991 that you were going to build a pot rally from the ground up with $0, place it in one of downtown Seattle's most beautiful waterfront parks, staff it with 1,000 volunteers, invite bands and speakers to come from all over to participate for free, and that the police would just stand by, smile, and look the other way while 100,000 plus people got baked in the sunshine, just about anybody would have told you that it was virtually impossible. But we never heard any of that, so we didn't know it was impossible. Therefore, we were able to do it almost solely by invoking the power of community. While Seattle Hempfest does not have an intentional community, we have something that I believe is much easier to maintain and possibly just as powerful. Seattle Hempfest has a community of intention. In an effort to foster strength, loyalty, and morale in our organization, we've instituted support networks that we believe enhance the community vibration of our group. The Hempfest organization is extremely diverse, with members ranging from people who are disabled or even homeless to professionals who own businesses or even own more than one home. For the economically disadvantaged among our 100-person core group, we've created a project called Operation Munchies. Hey, don't laugh. At some point, we may have to break to treat an emergency case of the munchies. I once had the munchies so bad that my doctor actually prescribed me a mashed potato and fried chicken patch for my own. Things are changing here, medical marijuana. But all seriousness aside, the way Operation Munchies works is that the more financially stable members of our core group purchase gift cards from local supermarkets, usually in $25 or $50 increments, that are available upon request by any core member as long as the funds are there.
We so happy we alive. We together can survive. Stop the bullshit, stop the lies. And now's the time to legalize. Tell me, brother, tell me true. What the hell we gonna do? Remember the days we saw purple haze. 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive. We together can survive. Mother Nature, heaven sent, don't belong to government. Hey there, sister, what's the plan?